Hey there, everyone. Sarah Brown Wessling here, teacher and parent, and excited to spend a little time talking with you today about 5 things we parents can do to help make our learning at home successful. So let's jump in. Here we go. Tip number 5, connect with the school and the teacher. The relationship that you create with the school and teacher is always important, but especially important this year. So respond to those emails, look for those emails. I know there are a lot of them, but you are not going to regret the time that you spend creating a relationship with your child's school and teacher. I think it's also important for you to remember you do not have to be the expert. The teacher is still going to be the teacher. And what you get to do is you get to connect to your child's teacher. That's what is so important in this partnership. It's also important for us as parents to make sure that we are modeling curiosity and not frustration. It's easy to get frustrated, but when we model curiosity, we're going to teach our children some really valuable lessons. Here we go. Number 4, create learning routines that work for your family system. Here's the difference between schedules and routines. Schedules are kind of fixed and immovable. And a lot of times they look like school schedules. If it works for you, that's great. But for a lot of families, they don't. And if that's not you, I want you to think instead of creating learning routines. So learning routines are the things that we do every single time it's time to get ready to learn. So that might mean you go to a certain place in your home, or there's a certain place where your children sit. If you have older children, they put their other technology away. Maybe you do a funny dance or a funny song, something to help you get started, to let you know that it is time to start learning. And I'm going to tell you, this is one of the things that we teachers do in our classrooms all the time, that we start with something familiar. So think about how that would work for you and your family. Sometimes we even just do a question of the day. And as soon as we ask that question of the day, it just gets us warmed up and ready to go. Here is number 3, engage with your child. I know this seems so intuitive, but it's so powerful. The time that you spend actually talking to your child, engaging with your child, you will not regret, because in so many ways, more than a content expert, this is what your child needs. They need someone to talk to listen to them, and to help them do some processing. So you can model the learning you want your child to do by talking with them, asking how and why questions. Again, you don't have to be the expert, and reading. Here we go. Number 2, look for asynchronous instruction to help anchor the learning. You're going to start to see that if you haven't already. So asynchronous instruction is the instruction that's kind of on demand. So it might look a lot like a video like you're watching right now. And it can come in other forms as well, but be on the lookout for that content, because it can be really helpful for your child to stay on track. And again, you don't have to be the expert, but you do get to be the lead learner. And number 1, prioritize mental, physical, and emotional well-being. Without this, nothing else works. So think about starting with some baseline conversations with your children. Ask them how they're doing, how they're feeling about all of this, just to get that sense of where they're starting. Then you can look for patterns. It's pretty normal for children to go up and down, have good days and bad days. But if you start to see, especially kind of like a pattern of tough days, that's when you're going to want to reach out to your child's teacher and be so glad that you spent that time building that relationship. It's also important, as you are fostering this learning at home, to take brain breaks. So this is where we stop kind of the intense cognitive work and we let our bodies move. So whether that is some deep breathing or mindfulness work, or some jumping jacks, or running up and down the stairs, whatever that might be, it's really important to give those brains breaks. The younger your children are, the more often and frequent they're going to need them, because if they were in school all of the time, that physical, social aspect would be built into it. So we want to be sure to bring that home as well. And it is absolutely not going to be perfect. This is not going to be perfect. But here's where you get to do some of your best parenting teaching moments, when you get to turn imperfection into learning moments, by helping teach your child resilience, or how to cope with frustration, or how to get through things, right? Or how to celebrate the little moments. These are all ways that we can turn imperfection into learning moments. And most importantly, just remember, this whole thing, it is about progress, not perfection. Nobody expects you to be perfect. Take care of yourself, love those kids, and we are going to get through this together. Take care, be well, everybody, and good luck.